demonstrations.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
I'm wearing a short sleeve shirt.
I'm wearing a friggin' hoodie.
I've wondered about that.
And it's hot. Hi, welcome to the Todd and Erin Daily Stream. We're going with that one, aren't we? Daily Stream.
I'm still torn between Daily Stream and Nooner. Anyone have a preference?
Nooner
Really? Because
Stream.
we got to make a decision this
All right.
week because we have to get business cards again.
How are you? Gosh, so much going on.
Let's
start with a girl.
How about the action cam? We really do need to go out and look at the beauty of outside.
Oh, look.
That's just us. That's
it's
not
going
beautiful.
to be spring again. What is this? This
For
is
30
like
seconds, and then tomorrow God will punish us and it's going to rain again. But for one shining moment.
What are the little critters in that thing in far off land, and they have big feet?
The Hobbit?
The hobbits and the hobbit's second breakfast. This is like the second spring, except it's third, fourth, and fifth.
Yeah, except for now we're going to go down into the Isle of Mordor and basically be crushed by all the orcs. So that's good. Other than that, it's perfect.
Sounds great. So
right.
this woman,
Let's start with
young
the Twitter
woman.
thing. Yeah.
All right. So she is in Woods Cross. Am I
Now,
correct?
Here's the deal. She initially posted a photo on Twitter that is lovely. Her name is Keziah Dom.
Hi, Keziah.
A senior at Woods Cross High School.
What'd she post?
This will not shock you that she is Caucasian.
Right.
Well, she posted a photo of her prom gown, which I think is beautiful. It's a red Chinese-style dress.
Yes.
She bought it in an old vintage shop.
The slit coming out the side. As a dad,
You're a dad. So
maybe
number
let's
one,
sew 6 inches of that.
Number one, double bonus points for getting a pretty old vintage gown instead
really-
of something expensive and new.
It's pretty.
And she was pulverized on Twitter by people from starting with a gentleman who said he was Asian, who said, "My culture is not for you to appropriate for your prom dress." And there was over 200,000 likes of him, and people started scourging her and excoriating and saying, cultural appropriation, how dare you, how dare you. Now, initially, I would like to point out, I too have a Chinese-style dress that I actually bought down in Chinatown in San Francisco, and I wear it for black tie events all the time.
I don't get it.
Here's the only thing that's missing from, I think, the story.
Before we move on, so the comment is purely about the fact that she's wearing a dress from another country.
And another guy snipped in. He says, well, if you'd done any research on Google, you would realize that this kind of dress is only worn for weddings. Well, I actually researched it too, and that's not at all true.
Isn't this racist?
It's worn in clubs as uniforms. It's worn in regular day dress. It's worn in black tie dress in China. It's worn in weddings.
I can wear anything I want.
Well, it's like a Hawaiian shirt. You can't wear Hawaiian shirts anymore because you're culturally appropriating from the Polynesians.
I hate them.
The Pacific Islanders. But okay,
the Pacific Islanders don't wear Hawaiian shirts, by the way. That's not going back in their culture hundreds of years. No, it's not true.
And so, Keziah wrote, to everyone showing so much negativity, I meant no disrespect to the Chinese culture. I'm simply showing my appreciation to their culture. I'm not deleting my post because I've done nothing but show my love. It's a blinking dress, and it's beautiful. Now, so far, I am 300% behind her. It's like, come on, guys.
It can't be 300. It's only 100.
I know, but that shows how much more. I'm like 11 in favor of
I'm 100% infinity plus 1.
Exactly. For instance, there's elements of cultural appropriation I've seen. For instance, at Burning Man, we saw some girls wearing this full feathered tribal headdress as a costume.
Yeah.
That's cultural appropriation. It's completely inappropriate because that is an object that is sacred to the Native American culture.
Okay.
So this dress is not. It's a different thing.
It's a Chinese dress.
Except for there's one problem.
It's very pretty.
If you scroll down through her prom pictures, there is one.
This is at the state capitol.
Yeah, and this is one of all the boys, like 5 guys in a row, like, kind of doing like the gangsta, whatever.
Because they're idiots.
But here's the other thing. The girls are all bending and bowing like this, doing a huai. Now, a huai is a signature of respect in Asian cultures, and it is not something that Caucasians, that Western culture is supposed to do.
Right. According to who?
Right?
I'm not convinced yet.
The huai, it's their mark of respect. If they invite you to do it back to them, or if you're in a position where you are interacting with someone in an Asian culture, perhaps in their home, then it's appropriate for you to do it. It is not appropriate for you to be in a prom picture going like that. That's cultural appropriation, and that's disrespectful.
Isn't it kind of like America's high five?
No.
I mean, isn't it a greeting, right?
It's a mark of respect. A high five is not a mark of respect, and it is something that is unique and special to the Asian culture. It is not respectful to be doing that in a joking way at your prom with all your girlfriends.
I have a question.
Yes.
I am now dressed on my prom. I'm a woman. That's not hard to understand. And I am
I have a good imagination, but I'm working with this here. Okay, keep going.
not a pretty woman. Not even handsome.
You would be a very pretty woman.
Shh.
You should see his pictures as a young guy.
Don't talk.
He was the prettiest thing.
Don't talk. And so let's say I was inspired by India, and I got myself like you see fancy like in Bollywood movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I take my prom picture and I do this.
That's cultural appropriation. You are not of that culture. Okay, wearing a dress to show respect.
Another one. I got another one.
As long as it is not a sacred artifact, like for instance, the Native American headdress is sacred.
Right.
That is something that is very powerful part of their religious culture.
So learned the Redskins
Okay,
in the NFL
here.
and the. Go ahead.
Okay, here's one that is, and I do this specifically for this reason. Do you remember when it used to be a mark of teasing where people would pull their eyes narrow and attempt to make their
I
eyes
remember
narrow?
that in elementary school.
And how offensive that is?
Yes.
This is the same thing.
It's a dress.
Not the dress. The dress is great. The dress
Okay.
is beautiful. There's nothing
I
wrong
mean, I don't
with
want to
it.
insult anybody,
The dress
but
is not culturally significant in the fact that it is meant only for weddings or that it is meant only for a religious thing. It is a beautiful dress that many people wear.
Okay.
It's the action she and her friends do while they're taking their picture that is inappropriate.
this is going to be an argument all day with
No,
everyone
I mean, I
listening.
want your opinion.
Not
I mean,
just
and
us.
I want your opinion. Tell us on Facebook because I'm dying to see if you
I
think
think-
that I'm being overreactive here, and I will listen to you too. But it's just our daughter is half Japanese, and I think of the times that we've been allowed to go to, the Oban Festival with her birth family and how kind they've been, and they taught us some of the dances, and we got to dance with them, and my boys got to dance, and they even allowed us to wear their family's jacket with their crest on the back, and it was an honor for me.
Right.
But I still wouldn't be running around going, I wouldn't be doing things that are particular and sacred to their culture.
Okay, I
It's
know some of you
inappropriate.
right now are saying get over it. I know you are.
I know, but
And I can see
I
part
still
of the
wouldn't
other.
discourage this little girl.
They're-
She's 18
they're
years
s-
old.
They're
And
smiling. I don't think they meant any ill will.
Kathy says she agrees with me on this.
Okay.
And like I say, I still wouldn't discourage this little girl. She's 18
Yeah.
years old and she went to prom and she looked pretty.
She looked gorgeous.
Your action with your friends when you did this was inappropriate. The dress isn't inappropriate, and even if you did do this, someone could just nicely say, hey, that looks like you're disrespecting the culture. But for 200,000 people to take the time to go, you are a horrible person and you should die. It's like,
That's why the
Really?
internet was invented for them.
no, but this demolishes any lessons she could have learned about showing disrespect with the white. By screaming at her about the dress, who cares?
Right.
So anyway,
I don't know.
thank you, Kathy. I don't know.
Not
Tell me,
convinced yet.
no, tell me your opinion, because if you guys think I'm out in the night on this too, I'll totally.
No,
with you,
no,
but-
you have your own opinion.
The dress is never the problem for me. It was the action that was the issue, and no one even mentions that, which is why I'm kind of like, but
The Bollywood thing is just still kind of to me.
oh, those dresses are so pretty, aren't they?
Yeah, but just this is not sacred, is it?
If it
And the
you
head
have,
thing.
no, of course it is. We'll take a look at the construct of how you're doing this.
But they're making movies with it in it.
This is true,
Right.
but it doesn't change the fact that that is their culture,
Right.
and the woman who is doing it is of Indian culture.
Okay.
You're a white guy,
All right.
or in this case, a white girl, let's say. So
Right.
yeah, if you're doing it in an Indian dress and
Okay.
doing their movements of dance, yeah, that's it. Yeah. I mean, that's
Okay.
okay. It's just my opinion, but
No,
I
I think it's a great
I feel
discussion.
fairly serious about it.
Okay, all right.
Okay, we can move on now. But anyway, no, honey, no one deserved to scream at you like that.
Are
for
you
wearing a
sure
pretty
we want to
dress.
do this? Where did you get these?
Oh, my God, of course. Now, you may remember this story last week. This is actually the girl who won the Cultural Innovation Award for the Global Consciousness
Not sure I can pull this one off here.
Conference. Yeah, you can see. Chirps, chips, eat bugs. Now, she actually won a huge prize that she's putting
These
back
are-
into her company.
Wait, these are barbecue. These are cheddar.
Well, what she wanted
Cheddar,
to...
churchies, chirpies.
Chirp, chips.
Okay.
Chirp, chips.
So the story we did
Yeah.
this on was based on protein source, and you can raise grasshoppers in a very small space, and they
Crickets.
grow crickets too. They grow incredibly fast, and it's a huge protein source. And other third world countries and other countries around the world have been using it as a protein source for hundreds of years.
Well, and the girl who founded this actually had gone over to, I think it was Bangladesh, and someone offered her a scorpion to eat. She's like, ugh. But she did it because she's a badass.
Crunchy on the outside, gooey on the inside.
And she said it tasted like shrimp. So that got her to thinking, what if I could make insect food palatable for Western palates?
Right.
Because this would save so much water and greenhouse gas and all the other things if we could adapt our diets
It
to
would
eating
actually,
more
yeah,
of this.
and feed people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
And it's gluten-free because they're critters.
it's zesty and bold, and there's one cricket per chip.
Not just sitting on top, right? All right. What? What?
I saw this picture of the chip and the cricket going, huh?
All right. What do you have? I have barbecue.
I have cheddar.
Wait, give me a
Thanks,
chip.
Mike. You should be in here for this.
All right, hang on. Let me go and see if I can pull this off again.
She said they're surprisingly tasty. And there's one cricket per chip.
One cricket per chip. All right.
Bon appetit.
1, 2, 3, go. Ah! No, I'm okay. Can vegans eat these?
Mm-hmm.
It's better than kale. What isn't?
They're a little dry, but
Well, bugs are like that.
no, don't remind me one.
Little critters
Try and
crawling
get
around.
There's some
What's in this again?
one cricket per chip. So I've eaten 2 crickets now.
Crickets. I've eaten like 6. Crickets. They're
The
just
barbecue one's better.
they're just like chips. I mean,
You know, I could eat these. I could be all right with this. You're never gonna have to take these home because Zoe will flip a
Are
lid.
they-
She'll be so excited.
they're carbs.
Yeah. I wonder what kind of carbs. Give me that back.
Well,
What kind
we're
of
done. Let's
but
move
just
on.
let me see it real quick. What kind of carb? I'm on a low carb diet. What kind of What kind of carbs do crickets have?
They don't,
Crickets?
They don't have any, do they?
You have 16 grams of carbs, crickets.
That's the chip part.
This is all.
I think it's the black specks on there that is the actual ground up cricket.
You know, it really isn't bad.
It'd be cool if they chirped when you bit them. Okay. There was a couple stories about the Jazz game. A couple different stories about Jazz game we're gonna address today. The attorney, the judge was waiting for this thing he had to file. It was a deadline, federal court, by 18 minutes. He missed it by 18 minutes, and he claims emotional anguish of the Jazz blowing a 25-point lead in Game 5 of the
Well, let's
playoff
be fair.
series.
There's a certain level of anguish here that we have to examine.
Attorney Brian King,
We are pretty sure we had the Thunder down. It was over. 25 points ahead.
Utah House Minority Leader, had a deadline at midnight Thursday to file his opposition to a motion filed by defendants in the United Healthcare issue that was going on. His motion asking the judge to extend the filing deadline. So, here it is.
In a motion asking the judge to extend the filing deadline, King said the Oklahoma City Thunder guard, Russell Westbrook, was in part to blame. Foreseeable but unwished for circumstances, together with unforeseen emotional impact for those circumstances, constitute good cause for this motion, he wrote. He said that he was writing the memo that due at midnight, but in an abundance of hopefulness and positive feeling about his favorite pro basketball team, took a break to turn on the game.
And that was
Everything
that.
was looking good for the Jazz when they held the 25-point lead in the third quarter.
That's who he blames.
But then, as King noted in court documents, disaster then struck in the form of bad officiating.
Sure, whatever.
I'm going with that. Jazz turnovers and poor shot selection. The absence of the best defense player in the league and Russell Westbrook. Phantom contact between Rudy Gobert and Carmelo Anthony, a particularly egregious foul call, resulted in Gobert's 4th infraction and limited his playing time for the rest of the game. He also conceded that, painful though it is for the plaintiff's counsel to admit it, Westbrook is a very good basketball player.
But we still beat him in the Game 6.
He did say that his emotional setback was temporary. And as you know, the Jazz did beat the Thunder 96-91 the following night and won their playoff series. On Friday, U.S. District Court Judge Bruce Jenkins did agree to extend the deadline based on the plaintiff's unopposed motion and good cause appearing.
Nice.
I'm sorry, I love it when I see a judge with a sense of humor because
Because the ones I've seen don't.
don't have as much.
None.
Not as much, no.
Didn't have a sense of humor at all. All right, so yesterday we talked about Salt Lake City, Utah, was 18th in the country to get a good job. 18th in the country. Salt Lake City, not state, Salt Lake City. And other things we've been talking about the last couple of weeks where, we're fifth in the money we make off our national parks and our monuments.
We're well educated. We have one of the highest graduate rates. So all kinds of really nice, really good things.
I just might smack you upside the head on this one, folks. If you went to Hamilton and the tickets are hundreds of dollars, and you're sitting in your chair.
And for anyone who's waited for this and waited for the actual Broadway
Your
tour and
sister's
production,
crazy about this.
I mean, you're dressed up. You've shaved your legs. You've done the big shave. You're sitting there in your seat. You have saved up. You're wearing a good dress, and you're like, I have waited for this moment. And the play starts.
Is it Joseph? Is it Morales?
Morales.
He texted out, Salt Lake City, you're killing me. Put your phones away. What's up with you guys?
Really?
Look at this. You're killing us. Put your phones away. We can see you.
What is up with you guys? This isn't a movie. Oh.
They say at the beginning of the show, please put away your phones. And they don't say silent them. They mean turn them off.
I will be honest, there are very few times if we've been in a matinee of a children's movie and there's nobody around us, I will pick up my phone and I will put the bright down to like half level so it's really faint, and I might do it like this and do something. But you're in Hamilton, and you're looking at your phone?
You better straighten that out. We're in a theater that has 8 people.
Well, that's what I meant. I said there wasn't anyone around us.
We're not around anybody. And if somebody was eating stuff, in the movie, they do this. It's horrible. That's why they don't make these kind of wrappers on the food they sell.
But I'm sorry.
But to have someone looking at, it was the night of the Jazz game.
So they were checking for the score.
So all these people were trying to do this. And when they're doing this, the people on stage are seeing you do this because your face lights up from the screen.
That's what intermission can be for. And I get it.
Don't go.
I'm emotionally involved too, but
Give your ticket to someone else.
If it's bad enough that the cast actually tweets that we're killing them, that makes us look like rubes. That makes us look like we just blew into town with the egg money. We ain't used to fine art here.
They got toilets and everything. It's like, it's like certain things that you don't. When a flag comes by and you sing the national anthem, you take your hat off, right? You wouldn't have your phone, and the people, you know who you are. When your phone went off at church,
ooh, not good.
You know what people are thinking? They're thinking this: that guy's going to hell. That's what he's doing.
Okay, I just realized I have actually got my news scripts here. So I want you.
Are you sure?
I do. So would you like to tell everyone who I'm sponsored by?
I would
Daisy,
love
of
to.
course, is in England right now, and
having a wonderful time.
she's going to Skype with us and tell us kind of what's going on and how awesome everything is. But
all right.
Right now, I will be doing this instead.
Tell me when you're ready. Fink and McGregor is bringing you the news today. If you're looking for a mortgage, oh my gosh, mortgages made simple. They're not kidding. Brio Technologies, if you're putting on a show with your company or you're making a presentation, these are the people who put the sparkle, the lighting, the sound all together for you. And New Millennium Group is suddenly you found money, you don't know what to do with it. Come and talk to me first, and then go talk to the Millennium Group, and they'll set you up with all the things you need financially for the rest of your life and get you on track to make that happen. All right?
Okay, we're going to need to do one thing. Can you do one more story from the B block? I
Sure.
am so smooth, aren't I?
What happened?
And I'm just going to go print this. I don't trust my computer to keep this up.
Erin's laptop. This is not her laptop.
No, this is the
it's
laptop.
A company's.
This is God's punishment to me for anything I have ever done wrong in a past life. Is what this is.
Go ahead.
All right, you
Go
talk.
ahead.
I'll just go get.
Are you printing them off?
Yes, I am.
During the
I'll be
show.
right back.
Is this the thing we talked about earlier about being all? Never mind. Her laptop is actually so slow that it locks up when she types. It's because it's got to think about her typing. It's like a doorstop. Don't even do images. Don't even. Now she's sending something to the printer. Do you have one of these computers? The printer, it's still thinking about sending it. All right, what else are we going to talk about today? We've got the Tell Me Something Good is coming up, and that's really good. Erin has got the best mugshot in history of man. And how are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you, honey?
You ready to go?
Do you want to finish best mugshot of the week?
No, I know.
Awesome.
I was just telling what's coming up.
Oh, it really is awesome. Okay.
And the other thing I wanted to, so that's enough. And so with no more to do,
all right.
Erin's got some
Mike,
information for you.
Yeah. You're ready for me, Mike. Hello, everyone. Here's what is making news on Tuesday, May 1st, here on GephartDaily.com. Utah County Jail inmate is hospitalized after throwing himself over a second-story banister outside of a Spanish Fort courtroom on Monday. 35-year-old Christopher Gray Rudd suffered head injuries in the two-story fall, but fortunately, police say they did not appear to be life-threatening. Rudd is no stranger to law enforcement in Utah County. Court records show he's been arrested a number of times. Charges include possession of a controlled substance, receiving stolen property, and possession of a dangerous weapon by a restricted person. Meanwhile, in Sandy, police are investigating two brazen burglars at the same home twice over a 2-week stretch in April. The first incident took place on Tuesday, April 10th, when the thieving couple entered the home at 3 a.m. while the residents slept inside. That's not scary. They ended up stealing a Jeep Grand Cherokee from the garage along with other valuables. And then on Friday, April 27th, the crooks came back, having the nerve to drive the same Jeep they had stolen a couple of weeks before and burglarize the home a second time. Now, police are circulating pictures of the suspects caught on the surveillance cameras. Anyone with the burglaries, please, you are asked to call Sandy Police. Governor Gary Herbert has declared May 2018 as the month of the bird here in the state of Utah. Now, the designation, which was announced Monday, celebrates the native and migratory birds that travel through Utah during the spring and the month of May. Utah is home to 400 species of birds, including this red-tailed hawk, which was hanging out with one of the news crews in Weber County around this time of year.
Oh, by the way, every time you see a movie and you see a bald eagle and it screeches, it's actually a red-tailed hawk they use for the audio, because an eagle goes...
It's not really majestic.
It's not as majestic as you would think.
All right, time now for a look at Wasatch Front weather. It's brought to you by Brio Technologies, Utah's premier audio-visual specialists, and by our shiny new sponsors at Magic Wash, home of the long-lasting ceramic car wash with an outlet in South Ogden and a brand new facility on Antelope Drive in Layton. Well, at least we're getting a bit of a breather today as we dry up and warm out after Monday's nasty little storm. But not to worry, there is another storm making its way across the state right now, so we can look forward to even more rain and snow on Wednesday. We're so lucky. Now, on the bright side, Thursday, the sun returns along with mild temperatures, and the weekend looks to be warm and sunny. So that's it for now. For more news and weather 24/7, you can go to GephartDaily.com.
All right, we mentioned something about the millennial group, and this is really important, because if you've made your savings, you got your 401k. Let's say you're moving up, you're starting to think maybe retirement, or you want to have a retirement down the road. The millennium group, this is how they kind of give you a game plan, because if you're not up on all the new things that you can do and the tax breaks and all that stuff, they're the people to go see. Just UtahFinancialPlanners.com. All right, you got to tell me something good?
Oh, it's pretty cool. I'm really excited by this. Okay, I think we've all felt the pressure, and especially math for me, it's like I actually had to go. I'm helping Zoe's first grade class, and I actually had to go ask the teacher, what are you doing here? She goes, oh, it's a new way we're trying to do this and this. So I actually had to get instruction for math in first grade so I could show the kids. That's pretty humbling.
That's just sad.
Well, they have a different sneaky way they do it now that teaches the kids
I know.
to look at the numbers differently.
I know. I couldn't do the old way.
Well, this is what I thought was absolutely beautiful. Corey Simmons was taking advantage of his New York City train ride. He was trying to study up on mathematics. Now he's a single dad. His son lives with him. He's in third grade, and he was in a lot of trouble with fractions. And so He
Who
helps
doesn't?
I know. He helps his kid every day with school, and he said, okay, well, this is a good time for me to kind of brush up and figure out what I'm doing. And, it's been like 30 years since he's had to do elementary school math. So,
Right.
And he was studying, though. The man who was sitting next to him said, what are you doing? And Simmons explained, I'm trying to relearn fractions so I can help my son in school. Well, the other man said, look, I'm a math teacher. I would be happy to help you.
Oh, fun.
So the nearby subway passenger who was watching all this took some pictures, and she said, the Simmons asked the guy to quiz him, and everything he got wrong or was confused about, the gentleman would break it down for him, and the teacher would correct him. And she said by the end of the train ride, you could tell that Simmons had a better understanding.
That's
now, the
very
math
cool.
teacher left before anyone could catch his name, but she was struck by how inspiring the interaction was. She says, I started crying because it was one person helping another, but I thought it was beautiful.
That's very cool.
There is something gorgeous about that. I don't think
There
I would
is.
even think to reach out, and here's the guy going, how can I help?
And then disappears into the night.
Because
That's
he's
kinda-
cool. Math
that's
teachers
right.
are like that. They just sweep off.
The only thing that taught me fractions was pizza. Because you ate.
That's completely logical.
Yes, it is.
I would understand
Speaking
that too.
of eating Christopher giveaway, we're doing this. We do it every day, and what we're giving you is a table for four and a dinner for four, and you just take your friends and go there and have the best steak in the world. It's Christopher's Prime Steakhouse and Grill. They've been around since 1995. I don't know if you knew that.
They're rather fabulous.
How do you sign up?
Oh, it's so easy. Look, if you're watching us on Get Part Daily or Get Part Approves Facebook pages, just drop something in the comment section about, hey, I like Christopher's. Hello, how you doing? Steak, yay. Same thing if you're on the Todd and Erin page with a conversation with us here. Just mention Christopher's and you're automatically entered. It doesn't matter what time of the day or night you're watching the show because everybody watches this some other time. Just drop a comment and that automatically enters you for the drawing we do on Friday.
All right, coming up next, Naked Guy throws stuff. Mugshot. Yes.
Epic.
It's coming up next.
We're brought to you by Fink & McGregor. Mortgages made simple. Just head to fink-mcgregor.com. Take 4 minutes to answer some questions, and you'll get a great idea about mortgages that you're eligible for. And by Stay Fit Wellness Clinic. Go get a personalized health analysis. This is the time to get back in shape. Feel better, feel younger, and without a ton of new medications at stayfitwellnessclinic.com.
Just touching the table. Hello, welcome back. Todd and Erin,
I've been waiting for this all day.
tell me the story.
Okay, it's the confluence of events here where you go, I'm not even sure drugs could fully account for this, but here we go. Police arrested a Taylorsville man over the weekend who
Oh, it's local.
was randomly knocking on a woman's door in the middle of the night while wearing no clothes. Look at that face.
Let's not judge.
And then broke her front window. Nicholas
Okay, now
Spring
you judge.
was booked into Salt Lake County Jail early Saturday for investigation of criminal mischief and lewdness. At about 3:15 a.m., the woman who was sleeping said she heard someone knocking on her front door.
Yikes.
She answered the door and discovered a man who was not wearing any clothing standing on her front porch. She quickly closed her front door and then heard a loud bang and the sound of breaking glass. The man had thrown a concrete rain gutter that was in her front yard through her front window.
This sounds like someone we know. Go ahead.
We have those kind of friends, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Officers used a police canine to track Spring and found him close to a house on the same street.
Still naked?
Here's my final question. So we're going into the chase. The canine is pursuing the suspect.
Oh, man. Oh, the goods.
Now, traditionally, a canine, as I remember, because our niece trains them,
Yes.
is they go for a piece of clothing to bring the person down.
And they hold.
Like the pant leg or
They're
something.
not just holding the clothes. They've got a grip on you.
What did he grip?
I would go face down over that to storm grate. That's what I would do. Safety first.
Let's move on.
I know. I just want to know. It's like, what is it that makes you go, I'm getting naked and running around?
And you know what? I will tell you that is purely a male thing. Because of all the weird bets I've ever heard, and of all the people all the people I hear who go crazy, do you ever see the ones about naked women running down the street screaming? No, it's always a guy. You know why? Because no matter how psycho we get as females, we're like, I'm not taking my clothes off.
Skinny dipping.
Still in my underwear.
Not that one time.
That's what you say. All right, moving on.
When I was in high school, this is funny. When I was in high school, it was the streakers, the streaker stage.
Didn't one of them end up at like the Olympic Games or something?
Oh yeah, they always do it. They do it at the games. They do it at soccer matches. They do it. Yeah.
Wait, they still do it?
Back in high school, used to press your butt cheeks against the bus windows. It was called pressing the ham. And then the streakers, back then it was like, oh, there goes Bob. And now it's like, oh, he's going to prison. And now he's on the sexual offender list. And now, seriously, they catch you, and that's what they do to you. Because you're out in public with clothes on. Matter of fact,
They hate that.
if you pee outside and someone sees you, you get on a list. So, little lesson for everyone. Don't run around naked
Find another way to explore your youthful enthusiasm.
in your basement alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We were talking about the Jazz earlier and how much fun it's been. And now that we're playing the Houston Rockets, which is a team I just don't like. We have bad luck against them.
Why don't you like them?
They're not better than us, but we just seem to have bad luck with them. They're like a bad luck team. I still think we're going to win, obviously.
I haven't heard predictions on this.
Well, it's pretty funny. Salt Lake City Police Chief Mike Brown is feeling pretty calm and confident about what's going on. So he actually called his friend, who happens to be the police chief of Houston, who is Art Acevedo, and said, I'll bet you a steak dinner my team's going to win.
Oh, it's one of these things.
Well, and so Brown said, no, I'm going to up the ante here. Whoever loses has to wear the winning
Yeah.
cop's uniform
Right.
for the entire day. So, like, for instance, if Chief Brown lost, he would have to walk around all day in the Houston police
In the Houston
uniform,
police thing.
and the same thing for Art if the Jazz win.
All right.
I thought that was kind of cute,
It is kind of cute.
right?
When we did Chicago, when we used to be in Chicago, remember all those times with Jordan and stuff, the bets got like way out of hand.
They got creepy.
They got creepy.
Remember that one we were supposed to walk naked down the street,
Uh-huh.
and our team lost, so we were required to walk naked down the street.
But being the thinkers that we are, we got a small dog, put a collar on it, and on the tag it said naked. So we walked naked down the street.
Now, the sad part is
People were pissed off.
Yeah, there was
But
like 50 people there with video cameras, and I'm like,
what's wrong with you people?
well, we have a lot of friends in media in Houston. It might be time to up the ante.
We could find another video live podcast thing.
Any brutal kind of bets that you want to put up for us? We
Yeah, put
will
on Facebook.
Call some friends in Houston. We'll see what we can do.
All right.
That'll be fun. Tell me about the Flat Earth Conference, because I know you love the Flat Earthers.
I do.
I know you love them. Tell me what
why?
they did.
You know why? Because you have no problem with your denial.
Because they're plucky.
And I think that's awesome. You don't believe the space station taking pictures of the round Earth, and you don't care about science, and you just have a theory. And I finally figured out how to do this for you and show you this. This is Britain's very first conference. They had 200 people show up. They actually paid admission. All right, so David Marsh, he's the guy. He says, my research destroys Big Bang cosmology. It supports the idea that gravity doesn't exist and the only true force in nature is electromagnetism. Some flat earthers claim that the Earth is, in fact, moving upward. That answers so many questions you probably had.
Did he drop the mic and just walk off?
Yeah, oh yeah, it should be one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have brought some props. Okay, and so here, because I'm sure they use incredible
I'm
props
sure there
too.
was some specific, conductive scientific.
Now, remember, the Earth is not a sphere, it's a disk. Now, the reason you would see a horizon doing this, who cares? This is the Earth. Erin, I'd like you to participate.
I would love to participate.
All right,
Todd.
here you go. All right, now you put a chip on your deal with a bug in it, so it's
Nutritious.
the theory is that the Earth is always going like this.
So
And
we're
since
constantly moving throughout the universe?
Yes, so it's you're constantly moving.
Then
And
why do all
that
the
way-
constellations stay where they are?
Oh, pshaw. This
Okay.
your house and your car, represented by the chips right there, as you can see, are now held in place by the upward movement of the Earth. Don't you love them? Don't you just think they're...
That's the whole scientific argument?
It's only one page. It's yeah. moving
Wow.
upwards. Yeah. But, you know, in his garden in his backyard with his camera, he destroyed the Big Bang theory. God, you just love him, don't you?
You know, this is when you know he's dropped the mic and he's just standing there, like kind of like in a gangster pose.
I
going,
think an apology.
I demand an apology.
And you thought this was all boo-hoo.
Man.
You just got, you know what? I hope I never end up at a party or a dinner where I talk to someone and they all of a sudden come up with that and they say, well, I'm a flat earther.
Oh no, I live for these things. I just sit there and go, huh? I would love to hear everything.
Tell me more.
Could you? And I'll just
Erin, come over
I'll clutch
here.
my fork and just go, I want to know more. Tell me.
Bring your camera.
I will never be able to eat again because I will just be paralyzed watching them talk. I live for those days.
And then you kind of
I live for those.
You egg them on with little.
No, I don't even mock them. I just keep asking questions, and as far as down the road as they want to go, I'm like,
That's what I mean. You just keep
totally
going.
want to know. Yeah.
And you'd be like, shut up, he's talking. Flat earther guy. And then they come up with all the and it's like, and then suddenly kale was brought to us by aliens
Well, I think that's
because
fair,
they
'cause it's
hate us.
disgusting.
Because furry salad.
Kale is disgusting.
It
I'm
really
certain
is.
That is.
It really is.
All right,
so
coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Ashley Judd.
Actually, not even a couple of minutes, a couple of seconds. Ashley Judd's just proved to Harvey Weinstein that his problems are not over in Hollywood.
Let's do that next.
Tell you about it next. We're brought to you by Stay Fit Wellness Clinic. If you're tired of feeling sick and tired, it's time to make an appointment with Dr. Bowden for a new holistic health plan to make you feel better, lose weight, sleep well at stayfitwellnessclinic.com. And by Magic Wash with 2 locations in South Ogden and Layton. Come in for the ceramic car wash that keeps your car cleaner longer by sheeting all the dirt and the water off your nice shiny finish. We're brought to you by Connect Heating and Air. Go to UtahHeatingandCooling.com for the $39 air conditioner tune special. Some care now could make the difference in hundreds of dollars of energy bills this summer. And by New Millennium Financial Group. Take your feeble financial health back to a more robust position with a consult with. We're brought to you by Connect Heating and Air. Go to Utah Heating and Cooling.
Hollywood Connection is being brought to you by
Hollywood Connection is brought to you by Connect Heating and Air. Utah's Heating. Go to UtahHeatingandCooling.com. Now they have a cool $39 special right now. They will tune up your air conditioner, make sure everything's working. You can save hundreds of dollars in energy bills during the summer if your air conditioner is actually working correctly.
All right, so this is about Ashley Judd. I have to tell you, I have a little bit of a crush on her.
That's because she's cool.
And that's because she has that growl in her voice.
She does have that beautiful,
Oh.
and it's funny because she's one of the Judds, Winona Judd and her mom, and
Right.
they have those really high, pretty voices like
Yeah.
this, and she's got that very low.
She just, yeah.
I mean, it's sultry. It's beautiful.
All right.
Well, she was doing extraordinarily well in Hollywood, and you may have noticed around the time she disappeared was around the time that Harvey Weinstein's company with his brother became extraordinarily powerful.
Okay.
It was also the time that she went, I don't have to work anymore, and I'm not going to sleep with you because it's not worth it to me.
So he made his moves, gross moves.
More than once. And so he says, I'm going to ruin your career. And she went, all right, and left. I mean, she was married to the race car driver. She had a life.
Right.
She was also one of the 3 women who had the courage to actually step back out and use their names and say, you may use my name, and broke the Time magazine story about Harvey Weinstein and what a pig he was,
Right.
which started the sweeping social change not only in Hollywood but also in business, not yet on Capitol Hill that I've seen,
Right.
but so on and so forth. Well, she finally has decided to step out, and she said, I'm going to sue you for sexual harassment. She claimed that her career withered because he spread lies about her in Hollywood after she rejected his sexual requests, and this was a fairly given thing. It's the threat he made, it's the threat he did, and it's happened to other women besides her.
Like 1,000 other women.
But here's where something she's got on her side that those women may not have been strong enough or powerful enough to have yet in their position in Hollywood.
What?
Peter Jackson, he's an A-list director. He's the one who did Lord of the Rings.
Right.
The Lord of the Rings
Yeah,
series.
yeah.
He came forward in December saying that he had removed her from a casting list as a direct result
Oh.
of what was now understood to be false information provided by Mr. Weinstein. Mr. Weinstein, who was producing one of his films, had seen his list of suggested actresses, and he went, no, not her. She's a mess. She's a drug addict. She's a blah, blah, blah. No, not her.
Right.
And so he had taken her off because of Weinstein's suggestion.
Is there a term of is this still good, or is it like
No. It's
like
still
8 years or
no. It's
something?
It's still within the time frame that she can sue.
Oh, that's nice.
So that's extraordinarily powerful. I mean, that goes way
It's
beyond.
a witness.
It goes way beyond like gossip and
Yeah.
all the ways that they usually destroy you
Allegations.
to a
Right.
specific A-list director.
Oh,
Going,
that's
no.
cool.
So I'm, just in case there's any money left
Just keep them in the
from your divorce and the
keep it-
dissolution of your company.
keep them in the public eye
Wow,
as
good
an
for her.
example.
Alrighty, you want to do my sponsored test to Global Headlines?
Yes, I will.
I think you should.
Global Headlines are being brought to you by the New Millennium Group. Put your money in the place it should be and make your future a lot more comfortable. Also by Stay Fit. These people have a whole program to make your entire life put together so that you're happy. You've got the body that you're working on, your tone, your muscle, your brain, and it's all what Stay Fit does. And Fink and McGregor. If you're looking for a mortgage, there is no faster way to do it. And he's got more information, Jeff Stout, than anyone else I've ever met. So go ahead and give him a call. All right, time for national headlines.
All right, here's what's making news in the U.S. and around the world on Tuesday, May 1st on GephartDaily.com. Now, 6 hikers have died. 6 others are in critical condition after being stranded by a blizzard in the Alps in Switzerland. Police say the hikers became trapped Sunday following a sudden snowstorm and high winds. Officials say an Italian national was killed in a fall and 4 others died from hypothermia. 52-year-old Bulgarian citizen was also confirmed dead on Tuesday. It looks like we now know where the upcoming U.S.-North Korean summit will be held, according to the United Press International. South Korea's president has convinced North Korean leader Kim Jong-un to hold the meeting with Donald Trump at the Panmunjom in the demilitarized zone between North and South. Trump himself has expressed enthusiasm about Panmunjom, saying if things work out, there's a great celebration to be had on the site and not on a third-party country. An oak tree given to the White House by French President Emmanuel Macron during last week's state visit has gone into, quote, quarantine. Macron and Donald Trump had planted the tree taken from a World War I battle site on the South Lawn. By the end of last week, however, it had vanished. The French ambassador solved the mystery when he tweeted that the tree had been uprooted and quarantined to meet U.S. agricultural laws.
Oh, this is my story that's next.
I know, so you're going to have to
Oh,
drop
you
it.
dirty rat.
It will be replanted if it passes inspection. Now, this kills me. The sapling comes from the Bailou Wood in northern France, which is a battlefield where 9,000 U.S. Marines died during a pivotal battle in World War I. And now it's quarantined.
Or is it?
Time now for a look at Wasatch Front weather.
Dun,
Brought to you
dun, dun, dun.
Brio Technologies, Utah's #1 audiovisual specialist, and by Magic Wash, home of the long-lasting ceramic car wash with an outlet in South Ogden and a brand new state-of-the-art facility on Antelope Drive in Layton. After a couple of days of brisk, soggy weather, we've got one little tiny spot of sunshine today.
Little tiny.
Yeah, that's temporary. Another nasty storm is already heading our way, bringing more snow, more rain, and a dip in the temperatures on Wednesday. Now, on the bright side, the forecast heading into the weekend looks a bit more promising. We're seeing a return to the sunshine and the mild temperatures. Now, for more news across the nation and around the world 24/7, check out GephartDaily.com.
Now, I find that the story that we're going to do next is amazing because there's so many ways to pay for things nowadays. But
True.
what's a dog to do? It's all coming up next.
What is a dog to do? Could make the difference in hundreds of dollars of energy bills this summer. And by New Millennium Financial Group. Take your feeble financial health back to a more robust position with a consult with New Millennium Financial Group. They're offering a complimentary financial analysis to get you started at utahsfinancialplanner.com. You're so sad you can't use the story about the French President Macron now, can't you?
I am, because the tree disappeared, and I was thinking it was going to be like an alien autopsy, you know? They have it on a table someplace, cutting into it and taking pictures. So
That
this,
seems kind of sad and awful.
tell me about the dog.
Okay, well, this is pretty cute. I've always adored dogs that were extraordinarily clever, and we showed you the video from the one dog in Colombia who actually walked into a bookstore and shoplifted a book that was called The Essence of Abandonment, and he was a stray dog who had been abandoned on the street from his owner.
And then there was another story where a sister, a woman who was blind, and her sister with her dog, with her seeing eye dog, were going down the street, and one of the doors in the shop opened, and the dog took her in there. It was a pet store supply.
Rather abrupt detour into a pet treat store.
But wait a minute, there's more.
Well, it gets better. So perhaps those two were ready to steal or beg for their treats, but this proud dog says, I will pay for my own meals.
What?
No, this is really, really sweet. Negro the dog is a furry campus resident. He's from Diversified Technical Education Institute in Colombia. And in the past 5 years, he's been a really good companion to all the students. He'll sit and greet them as they go through the day and say hi.
How
And
nice is that?
they'll feed him little treats, and he's kind of like the mascot. He's the place. Well, during Negro's time on campus, he noticed that some of the students were giving green pieces of paper to the campus shopkeeper in exchange for cookies and treats and things. So intrigued, he saw this economic exchange unfolding before him, and he decided, I will do the same thing.
Oh my gosh.
Now,
Are you
this is
kidding
according
me?
to the teacher, Angela Garcia Bernal. She said he would go into the store and he would watch the children give money and receive something in exchange. So then one day he appeared with a green leaf in his mouth, wagging his tail.
Oh my gosh.
And handing it, look, he jumps up, hands it to her, and waits for his cookies.
Get out.
So she took the leaf and went, no, that's too cool. So she gave him a cookie for his ingenuity, and ever since then, he comes in every day with a leaf in his mouth to offer to pay for his cookie.
Two things. Number one, the landscaping's screwed outside. You know that, right? And number two, hide your car keys from this dog. This dog will drive away in your car.
At this point, that's the only thing left.
Oh
Is that
my
the coolest
gosh.
dog ever?
That's so funny.
But how smart is that, though, that he would see this exchange and go, well, I can do that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's genius.
All right, last story today.
I think this is really sweet. I don't know if you've seen this, but it's the Letterbox Project. It's down at the Salt Lake City Main Library downtown. When is the last time you remember getting a handwritten letter? Where someone sat down and they wrote
Not a note.
not even a typed note or something
Did
like
they
that
mail
on a
it?
postcard. Yeah, a handwritten letter that they folded, that they put in an envelope, and then they mailed to you with a stamp.
With a stamp and everything.
Can you think of the last time?
I wrote you one, but it was at, we did a project. We were doing a fundraiser. And for one of the reasons, because it was artsy, a lady was sitting in an old typewriter. And she said, if you would like to send a message to someone, and she will type it on this little card. And so I went up and I said, okay, let it like this. And I sent it to Erin through the mail.
And it said, our future is ours to devour. That
So
is
anyway,
the most romantic thing in the entire world. I
but
can't even
no,
stand it.
no. As far as sitting down and writing a full letter,
Well, it's really cool. I mean, I don't think children today have seen that at all, ever. And
and
I still have.
is this handwritten?
Uh-huh. And I have the letters saved from your parents and from my parents that they've written to us over the years. And I don't think I've had any from anybody else for decades.
A generation.
Yeah, but I still save those ones because they were precious. The ones your dad wrote, and we sent you all the World War II pictures and things.
Right.
This is really cool. You can drop a quarter into a restored vending machine down at the Salt Lake City Public Library downtown and receive a handwritten, hand-decorated letter from a member of the community. Now, this is the cool part. They're available in English, Spanish, Russian, Somali, and Vietnamese.
Oh, look at that.
Along with large print and braille. Now, here's the coolest part. Perhaps you do not have a quarter. The library will give you one.
What?
I want to do that. I think that's so cool. I would go and sit down and write letters for them because I think that's so amazing.
I know.
And you get to have a handwritten letter that you get to keep.
Who's writing these?
That's worth so
People
much.
in the community,
Yeah,
you
that's
said.
worth so much more than a quarter.
Oh my
This
gosh.
is priceless.
That's pretty cool.
So anyway, there you go. Now you know.
And thank you very much for watching today. It's a pleasure to have you. Would you please share? Because there's still some people we are not annoying. And
Really,
that's kind of
why
our
should
goal.
you experience the nausea and vomiting by
Yeah.
yourself?
And maybe our parents will see us one day.
No.
No. You guys have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow at noon.